Some people believe that health officials are making too much about the swine flu threat.
If so, why have Albuquerque firefighters started donning masks when dealing with people who may have the H1N1 virus? Jim Winchester is live downtown outside the Station 1 with What's Up.
Yeah, Diane, and frequently Albuquerque Fire Department personnel are the first people to arrive on the scene of an emergency, including medical calls. So it goes without saying that oftentimes they are exposed to many viruses, potentially even swine flu. And they say that's just part of the job.
It hasn't hit yet.
It's not an epidemic, and there's certainly no sense of panic, but
we're going to be prepared. If something does happen, we want to make sure that we're prepared to go out there for our folks to be able to continue to render service.
So Albuquerque's fire department first responders are not taking any chances. Following a state directive, when arriving on a scene, responders are pre-evaluating their patients.
If they're kind of displaying signs and symptoms of flu-like, in other words, high fever, dry cough, we may even put a mask on at the door.
Masks like those you would see in a hospital and gloves, all to avoid catching any viruses.
Because we have direct contact with patients and people that might be infected with H1N1 or even just the seasonal flu, that we want to protect ourselves if we're doing any sort of respiratory therapy.
It may sound like an overreaction, but state and national health leaders are recommending the precautions simply because swine flu has the potential to mutate into something worse. But because flu calls in Albuquerque haven't spiked for now, the on-call precautions are all that's required. But the fire department isn't shying away from recommending responders to do more.
We're not going to mandate a seasonal flu shot or the H1N1. We strongly encourage that you get vaccinated. It'd be the same approach that we take with all the public.
Now, firefighters often know ahead of time when they're going to calls whether or not they will need those masks and gloves. That information is frequently relayed to them by 911 dispatch. Diane, back to you.
Thanks, Jim. Paramedics called to a scene often by first responders are also required to wear protective masks and gloves for suspected cases of swine flu.